Today on Graced Health, I am hoping to make your Christmas wish list or gift giving for your fitness enthusiast loved ones a little bit easier. I have 10 different ideas to go on a wish list or to wrap up for under the tree. Oh my gosh, you guys, I really hope that the intro and the title of this episode does not bring you stress. I really hope that, because I know it does for some people. But Christmas really is right around the corner. I promise I am not trying to stress you out. This is what I know though. As women, we spend a lot of time and energy thinking about what to get our loved ones for Christmas. And then about a week before December 25th comes, they come to us and say, well, what do you want for Christmas? And by that time, the decision and gift giving fatigue has set in. And you say, I just want everyone to have a wonderful Christmas. But that doesn't help them because they still want to get you something and they don't know what to get you. So today, I am doing your loved ones a solid, or you one, and giving you 10 ideas to pass on for you or for the fitness enthusiast in your life. This episode is airing on November 19th, which is about a week and a half before Thanksgiving. So I am hoping that you can kind of go through this, hear it, and any of the ones that seem interesting to you, you can take advantage of Black Friday sales or Black Monday for the online stuff, or however you choose to buy things. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig in. The first one is loops. Now, these are circular stretchy bands. They're loops. They're about 8 to 10, maybe inches in diameter. It kind of depends. And I like to use these a lot for what I call the mini muscles. I think I've talked about that on the things that you need to focus on in your 40s, but these are really great for strengthening your gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and all of those muscles surrounding your hip musculature. They're about $8, and just go on Amazon and search for loops. They are also at your big box stores. I know Academy has them. If you've ever done Beachbody's 80-day obsession, this is what they use in those videos. Number 2, books. Okay, I think I've told you guys that I'm a little bit of a fitness geek. And if you've been listening to these episodes, you probably are not going to be surprised about the 2 that I'm going to suggest. One of them is Smarter Workouts, The Science of Exercise Made Simple by Pete McCall. This book is so chock full of information. The author is about my age. He's in his mid-40s, and he really just gives you some very applicable science-based exercises, the reason behind them. He kind of guides you in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and I just really like his balanced approach. The other book is HIIT, spelled H-I-I-T, Your Limit by Dr. Len Kravitz. I did talk about this book a lot in the HIIT episode I did, and he, again, is very balanced. He's very reasonable. He's just a joy and a pleasure to watch if you ever get to hear him speak. But this is a really great resource as well, especially if you're interested in applying a little bit more HIIT to your workout routine. Number 3, either one of these, a foam pad or a balanced disc. I will say the balanced disc is a little bit more advanced than the foam pad. So depending on where your balance needs are, these are great for using when you are, say you're just standing there doing bicep curls. Hop on the foam pad, use 2 feet at once, then lift 1 foot. And it's really going to challenge your balance. Again, in that 4 things to do in your 40s, this is one of the things we really need to be focusing on is our balance. The other one is a balanced disc, which is inflatable, and it's typically plastic, and it will be a little bit more wobbly. Either one of these are great for integrating just a little bit of balance movements into your routine, and they are both about $20. By the way, I'm going to have links to all of these that I have found on Amazon. I'm not even at this time an Amazon affiliate, so these are just links to help you. If you find a better price somewhere else, by all means, go do that. Number 4, resistance bands. Okay, there are a lot of different resistance bands out there, but I am going to link to the one that I really like because, so these are longer and stretchy and they have handles. in general, that's what resistance bands are. The ones that I have found that I just love have handles and then clips on the bands. And so you switch the handles in and out. And the brilliant thing about them is you can clip, if once your strength gets to a certain point, you can clip the bands. You can clip more than one band on each handle. This particular one also has a door anchor, so you can just stick something through a door, close the door, and you can use that. I've actually recommended that to clients that I have before for them to do home workouts. And the particular type that I like that I'm going to link to in the show notes actually has a fabric overlay over the plastic. And let me tell you why I like this, because I had some bands snap on my clients before, and she was so gracious about it, but I know it hurt. And it did it twice in one class, you guys. I think it's because I was storing them in my garage. I should know better to do that in Houston. But anyway, this gives me, just as the trainer leading people, just a little bit of peace, knowing that even if they snap, they're not going to snap right into your chest or your belly or your face or anything like that. Number 5, new weights. Now, I bet if you have been doing stuff at home, you probably have weights in either your closet or your garage or something like that. And if I were to guess, you probably have some 5-pound weights and some 8-pound weights and maybe some 10s. Now, if those have been in your home for a really long time and those are what you're using, it's probably time to move up. Typically, I recommend that you go up probably 2 pounds if you have been using weights under 10 pounds, and then go up between 10 and 20% if you've been using weights more than that. Now, I admit I'm a little bit ridiculous about it. You are listening to the girl who went to a birthday party for her friend and client, her 50th birthday party. And guess who walked in with 2 15-pound weights saying, "Happy birthday." She had been coming to my classes. I knew she was stronger than what she was doing. And I wanted to challenge her with that. Weights are just one of those things that we just have a hard time buying and shelling out the money for. So if you want to put them on your list, that's fine. Maybe don't put it in your carry-on or something if you're flying. But those are really great to have. And it's a good way to challenge your muscles and to take it up a notch. Weights are typically sold for about $1 a pound, give or take. And you can obviously find those at any Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods. I've even seen them at Walmart. So go check them out wherever you like to shop. Number 6, pull-up assistance bands. Now, these are very similar, somewhat similar to the loops in that they are circular shaped and they have very stretchy elastic, but they are significantly bigger. So they might be 36 inches from, if you were to pull it. So if you were to hold one at your waist, it would probably reach the ground. These are a lot longer and they're a lot thicker. The ones that I have for my classes, one of them will give assistance between 80 and 100 pounds. And then another one gives assistance between 100 and 120 pounds. And remember, the more assistance it gives, the easier it gets. So the 80 to 100 pound one is a lot harder than, or somewhat harder than, the 100 to 120 pound ones. I know there are other exercises you can do with these, and I wish I could tell you what they are, but we only use them for pull-ups. And I will tell you, and when I say we, I mean my clients, my classes, we have this really love-hate relationship with the pull-ups. I mean, they're hard, but there is something that is so empowering about lifting your body up, even if you are using that band. And I have not yet been able to replicate that movement, even with other resistance bands. I have not been able to really feel that soreness in my back that I do when I have the pull-up assistance bands, because I can do one pull-up, maybe 1.5 on my own, but I can knock out a decent amount more, maybe between 7 and 10, depending on where my strength is at the time. Now, you do need to have something to loop them around. So if you have one of those over the door pull-up bars, you can use that. We actually go to a park and use them at a park where we can just lift ourselves up. So you do need to have a place where you can use them. But if you do, they really are a great addition to all of your workout toys, is what I call them. And these are about $30. Number 7, sandbells. I have never heard of these until I started listening to the All About Fitness podcast, which I know I've talked about a lot, which is also by Pete McCall, who wrote that book earlier. I swear I don't stalk him. I just really like his work. But sandbells are neoprene discs that are filled with sand and they're weighted. I can't exactly explain why they're so fun, but I love these. You can slam them down and throw them down. So it's really fun when you are having a rough day. They act as weights. They're kind of like a kettlebell in the sense that when you swing them, you get that momentum going and bringing them back up. They can act just primarily as weight. So if you don't have dumbbells, these are a really great alternative. We love them. I love my sandbells. And also they are a lot easier to transport. So I have accumulated a lot of sandbells to use in my class, and I can just take them and throw them in the trunk of my car. Whereas I can't do that with a 15-pound dumbbell without totally trashing up my car. So if you're moving around a lot or taking things, this is a really great addition to use. There's a lot of different weights out there, and I really can't recommend a particular weight for you because I don't know what your strength is, but I will tell you that the most popular sizes in my classes are the 10 pounds, the 12 pounds, and the 15 pounds. They're not super cheap. The 12 pound is about $38. The 15 pound is $47. Now, both of those are filled. You can buy them unfilled, but the price differential to me doesn't make sense to me having to try and fill them up because fine motor skills are not one of my strong suits. The unfilled 15-pound one goes for $40, whereas you can just buy it filled for $47. And typically, if you get a handful of them, you're going to get free shipping anyway. So I just get them filled. And then I'm sure the FedEx person is cursing my name. But anyway, I do really, really love the sandbells. Now, if you want a little bit of a discount, I'm going to send you over to the All About Fitness podcast and listen to pretty much any of those because Pete McCall has a discount code on there and I can't remember what it is. And I want you to listen to that podcast because it's just so good. So go check those out. Number 8, shoes. Now, I know I just recently had the episode on all about shoes and when it's time for new ones. So if you have looked at the bottom of your shoes and it's time for new ones, it's a great one to put on your Christmas list. Make sure that you are specific in what you want because I know you're going to go to a running shoe store and get your foot fitted. High quality new running shoes will probably run you between $100 and $130. And then cross trainers are going to be a little bit less than that. I would give you a quote, but to be honest, I haven't purchased cross trainers in a while. I think it's time for me to get new ones. Maybe I'll put that on my list. I think they'll probably be around $80, $60. I'm not really sure. Number 9, a TerraCore. If you have not gotten a chance to play around with a TerraCore, you are missing out. If you've heard of a Bosu ball, which is kind of a round ball with a flat bottom and an inflated, kind of like half dome, this is similar to that, except it's a lot longer and it's oblong. So it's, I think, about 36 inches, give or take some. And I tell you what, these are so versatile. So you can put the flat side down and stand or sit or lie, or maybe it's lay, I never know. Lay down on the inflated part. We do these for chest press a lot, and the instability of the inflated part really adds to your core activation. You can flip it over and have the inflated part face down and do things like, say, mountain climbers, where you're putting your hands on the flat part and then you're bringing your feet in and out or your knees in and out, and it's kind of shaking. And so you're kind of shaking and you're trying to get it. And again, just great core activation. I've used these for HIIT workouts. When you buy one, you get access to workouts on an app that I just use for myself. I integrate it into classes. You can do so many things on there. Now, the price point is not cheap. It's about $200. So this would be a really big present. But if you are really looking for something different, this would be a really great addition. My girls have said, this doesn't take up too much space either. You can put it in your garage or you could put it under a bed or something like that. But you really do get a lot of bang for your buck with this TerraCore. And then number 10, a TRX. The TRX was developed by a guy named Randy Hetrick, who is former military, and he really had a hard time keeping conditioned when he was deployed. So this is basically, it looks really simple, but it's straps that attach to an anchor point, or again, you can put them through a door, like a door jamb, and it's stabilized there. And the beautiful thing about the TRX straps is similar to the TerraCore in that almost everything you're doing, you're activating additional core muscles with this as well. And so you can do push-ups on it, you can do rows and triceps, and then there's all kinds of fun things you can do in a plank position. One nice thing about these is they're really portable. They only weigh maybe 2 pounds or something like that. So you can shove them in your suitcase when you're traveling, because that's the whole purpose of why they were invented. And you can get a full body workout with that too. When you purchase directly from the TRX site, you'll also get a year of workouts and movements on the app. So it really does make sense. These typically are $200, but I will tell you, if you'll just watch it, they'll have sales on it all the time. I'm sure they'll have a great sale or 2 or 3 during the holiday season. But again, it's a little bit higher price point, but you really do get a lot of value for the money that you spend with that. Okay, let's do a quick recap of my top 10 recommended fitness toys. And I would love to hear from you if there's something else you recommend. Number 1, loops. By the way, I don't think I said this earlier. I actually did a YouTube video on movements you can do with loops. And so I'll link to that below and you can go check it out. Number 2, books. Smarter Workouts by Pete McCall and Hit Your Limit by Dr. Lynn Kravitz. Number 3, a foam pad or balance disc, great for our aging bodies. Number 4, resistance bands. I particularly like the kinds with fabric over it and clips, so that way you can really customize it and prevent whelps if they ever snap in front of you. Don't store these in your garage. Number 5, weights. You can get these just about anywhere, about $1 a piece. Make sure you're going up some. Number 6, pull-up assistance bands. Number 7, Sandbells by Hyperwear. Love, love, love these products. Number 8, new shoes. Again, go check out that episode if you need a little convincing. Number 9, TerraCore. And number 10, TRX. Now, sticking with the holiday theme, our next episode is going to focus on realistic ways to approach your exercise during the holidays. If you want to go sign up for a 30 for 30 or doing something every day, that is great. That's not what I'm going to be talking about. So if you just are kind of trying to stay in that maintenance mode, this episode is for you because I have a couple different ideas for you. Thanks to those of you who have rated and reviewed. It helps the show so much. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate it when you share episodes that can serve your friends or family or ones that you feel like would be helpful to them. Would you like to receive podcast notes and resources? If so, go to gracedhealth.com/podcast and enter your email. As we go through different seasons of focusing on our health in the kitchen, in the gym, and in the Word, I'll have resources that support the message. Sometimes it'll be workout videos, sometimes recipe or scripture downloads. Entering your email will ensure you get all of these and you won't have to mess with hunting through the show notes. I promise you, I give you my word, I will not send you too many emails because I can't gain control of my own inbox and I won't do that to you. So make sure you sign up. Okay, that's it for today. See you next time. Until then, go out there and have a grace day.